Hey guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Angie, and today we're going to be making something really special, and I know you guys are going to love it. We're going to be making a coconut milk vanilla cake. Have you ever thought of wait? I have coconut milk in the refrigerator, and I don't know what you used to do. Well, there's something you could use to do. You could also use it to make a cake, pies, and lots of stuff. But today we're going to be concentrating on how to make a coconut milk vanilla cake. Let's get started. But before we get started, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you think this video was so helpful to you, please remember to click that like button. And also remember to share this video to your friends, family, loved ones, so that they too can learn something new. Okay, now time to tell you guys ingredients. Here I have 2 cups of flour, vanilla essence, coconut milk, leftover coconut milk, 3 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, 250 grams of butter, but we're not going to be using all the butter. We also have baking powder, nutmeg. As you can see, I've already opened it because I want it to be really easy for me to use. And here I have a sift, a whisk, a spoon, and a large mixing bowl. Well, let me clear this place out so we'll get started. Okay, I've cleared this out. I'm keeping the sugar and the butter and maybe the eggs in case, because I think I'm going to need them. Okay, now first of all, in this bowl, I'm going to be sifting my sugar. It's really hard to sift sugar on a sift, so I'm going to be making it more easier by using my mix on it. I'm going to take you guys off the camera and sift it more. Okay, this is the last one. Please let this be snappy. Too slow. Okay, now I'm done, so I'm just going to set this aside. Now, my sugar. So I'm going to be opening my butter. Okay. Okay, now I'm pouring in my butter, and this is the amount we need. It's off. Okay, I'm going to be getting my whisk, sorry. I'm going to be creaming this. Now this one we need the spoon. Let me get my spoon. I'm going to be using my spoon to get the butter out, because I know it's going to get stuck. Oh, the spoon is not even working. Okay, it's working. Let me use this other part, okay? Let me keep the spoon here in case I need it. Okay, now I'm what's wrong with this? And do not use a knife, but if your knife is the type that won't like spoil your wicks or anything, just you could use it too. Okay, now use the spoon again. Okay, now, guys, it's creamed enough. So, get out of my wicks. Okay, now it's time to put in my eggs. We're going to be cracking in one at a time. And remember, whenever you're baking any kind of cake, always mix in one direction so that you will not end up at the end of the day incorporating air into your cake mixture. Guys, will see you incorporating. Okay, now I'm going to be cracking in the second egg. Yes, you are mine. Take my hand. Okay, now let's mix this until it's well incorporated. Okay, look. It's getting creamier. And it's not that yellowish again. So I'm putting in the third egg. Be careful so that cracks will not get in here. And remember, always mix it in one direction. Never forget that that's like the most important thing here because we don't want to incorporate air into this mixture. Okay. Okay, guys, because we're not using a hand mixer, electronic hand mixer. This won't be so creamy. But if you want it to be so very very creamy, you can continue mixing it until you get the desired consistency. So I'm going to mix it more because I want it to be like a little bit creamy. Okay, now I've gotten my desired consistency, so I'm just going to keep this aside in the sink and get the dishes later. Okay, now time for our flour. So I'm going to be getting our sift. Okay, now I'm going to move my wicks and keep it aside. Okay, now I'm going to be sifting this in little by little. If I sift in this little now, if I put in this one, I'm going to be adding in my vanilla essence. Okay, now I'm done, so I'm going to be getting my vanilla essence to put in here. And we're making this cake without using bakery tools. So I'm going to be using the cover of the vanilla essence. Pour in vanilla essence and pour it in here. Cover it up. And get my mix. It kind of looks like buttercream icing. Okay, now sifting in more flour. Okay, now guys, I'm going to put in another batch. I'm going to be leaving this one here because I'm going to add in my coconut milk. Okay, now I've already opened my coconut milk. I'm going to shake it, then pour in little amount. and then mix. It smells so good. It's getting grainy. I'm going to taste it. I love tasting. Mmm. It tastes so good. I'm pouring more coconut milk and mix again. And I got to be truthful with you guys. The smell of coconut milk is not that good, but when it's in a cake mixture or um, rice pudding with lemon or orange zest, it's really really delicious. Let me taste it again. Splendid, guys. This is better than evaporated milk or full cream milk. So I'm putting more of it. Okay, that's okay. So mix it again. Cool coconut milk. Okay, now I'm getting my baking powder and I'll put it into my flour, the remaining flour. That's enough. That is approximately 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And for my nutmeg, this is approximately 1 tablespoon of nutmeg. So sift it in. Okay. Let me adjust my camera a bit so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, now look, this is what it will look like. So I'm going to get my sift and sift it again. And remember when even after you've sifted your nutmeg into the flour, you still need to sift it again when you're putting it into the cake batter because we don't want lumps. We don't want our cake batter to be grainy. And make sure you're using room temperature ingredients because if you don't use room temperature ingredients, your cake won't come out thick and fluffy. Sorry, thick and smooth, and you will not get that good thing you want in a cake. Okay, so mix it again. And when it's getting too thick, you pour in more coconut milk. And if you want any kind of coconut milk I'm using, look at this. It's sun ripe. It could be found around the world, I guess. Okay. And one thing with me is that I don't get my products online. I get it from the market where I see the seller and say, is this coconut milk good? Will it be good for a cake? And then if there's any issues, I could go return it back to them within 24 hours because I have the right as a consumer. Okay, so we'll mix it well until it's creamy. Make, remember, mix in one direction. Do not switch directions. Say, my hand is paining me. Let me just switch the direction. Okay? pour in the remaining coconut milk, and coconut milk is finished. So I mix it more. Oh my god, it's really creamy. Okay, now I'm taking you guys off the camera so I could go get my cake pan. Here is my cake pan. This is what a Nigerian local cake pan looks like. Okay, now keep this aside. Now get some butter and butter it with my hand because it's a recipe without tools. So put in some butter there, and then spread it around by hand. And please remember to wash your hands before you do this. Don't want any germs entering your cake. So that when your customer or anyone that's buying your cake from you tastes the cake, person won't fall ill. Okay, now the butter has gone around it. So I'm going to be putting in some flour into this. I see I just left little flour purposely. So put it in buttering and dust your cake pan with flour. Helps your cake not to stick. Okay, now give it a last mix, and then I'm going to be pouring it in. Look, it's thick. It's not thin. Let me get my spoon so I could scrape down the bowl. I'm going to be washing my spoon. Hey, I'm seeing you. You're licking my cake batter. Leave that wicks alone. Okay, now got in my spoon and to scrape it down. Okay. Now I'm going to tap this to release the air bubbles that are trapped in it. Okay, now time to put it in the oven. Okay, now guys, I'm using a halogen oven. So I'm going to be preheating my oven for 10 minutes on the 250 degrees Celsius. If you have a bigger oven, you could use it. If you have a gas cooker, you could actually, well, you could as well use it. Yeah, you use it. You can use a pot, put a pot on fire, then pour in salt, or you just put empty like that. Then make sure you reduce it to low heat and then preheat for like 5 minutes. Then put in your stand and put in your cake under low heat, and voila, it's ready. After like, let's say 1 hour, 30 minutes, depending on kind of gas cooker you have. Okay, now guys, 10 minutes is up, and my halogen oven is off. So I'm going to off the wall socket. And as you can see inside here, I put a stand. It's hot. It's really hot. Low rack in here. So I'm going to take in my cake pan and be putting it into or onto the and then on my wall socket, and then I'm going to put in it for 60 minutes under 250. Oh, that's a little bit too much. So I'm putting on 200 degrees Celsius. See you guys in 50 minutes. And guys, look, this is what it looks like when it's in the oven. I'm using a smart home halogen oven. You get used. These babies do anything. They dry fish, they dry chicken, they roast yam, they bake cakes, they do everything an oven can do. Okay, I'll see you guys when the cake is ready actually. Okay, now guys, we're back in 10 to 30 minutes. So we're going to be shaking the cake. Okay, I'm going to put in a fork into it. And it's not yet done. It's not that clean. Yet we're going to check. It's not that clean. So it should be in the oven for like 20 more minutes. And remember, do not open your oven to check your cake when it's not past 30 minutes. You put it into the oven, or else you may not have a really good desired outcome. Okay, guys, as you can see, I've put in my fork into the cake and it didn't come out clean, so it's still not ready. So I'm going to cover the oven back in 30 minutes approximately. So we'll be coming back. It's taking a long time actually, but no problem.